guys, how's it going? My name is Ollie and welcome to another episode of Amber Talk. Newport County nil, Salford nil. By far one of the most boring games of football I have watched, not just this season, but in the entirety of my life. Um, there's not even that many points to actually talk about. It's going to be a bit of a short one today, I think. Um, in terms of the actual lineup, Tom King started over Nick Townsend after the performance against Brighton on Sunday, kind of deserved. Um, then again, King wasn't really challenged much, and I don't think Townsend would have been challenged that much either. Very quiet game for him, but the few times where he was brought to challenge, he did look more than competent. So it's a slight positive from the game. But in strikers as well, Ryan Taylor and Jake Scrimshaw started. Good to see Taylor back. He's still trying to find his footing after that freak injury. Scrimshaw, I'm still undecided on. He wasn't impressive, but he wasn't unimpressive. He didn't really do much, so that you can't really base any assumptions off of that. Off the ball, he looks good. He hasn't got really much of an end product. He looks a bit scared of the ball at times, but it is his first game in League Two, so it's probably going to take a while to get used to it. In terms of play then, not great. It looked like we couldn't pass, whether that's the fact that we've not had a league game in so long, or whether the pitch is bad, or whether we've just fallen off. The passing quality was poor. We seemed disjointed. It felt like 11 players chucked on a pitch. It didn't feel like a team who knew each other and knew how each other played. And it's a bit worrying because there wasn't that many drastic changes. If anything, I think Ryan Taylor, Scrimshaw and King were the only changes to our strongest 11. So it is very worrying to see the bad quality in terms of passing and play. In terms of any real notable events from that, Josh Sheeran got a straight red in the 58th minute. It kind of happened towards the not the dugouts, the Bursley side where the new dugouts are. He kind of slides through, puts one foot in front, studs up, goes right through the player. It did look like a 2 foot at the time, but no, it's just 1 foot, catches a player. I think he intends to go for the ball, but he just catches the player and it's not great. So straight red for that. I do agree with the red card, but I think if we did appeal it, we would probably get a 1 match ban. So hopefully that's what we get. Other than that though, nothing really notable happened. A very boring game, not many chances created, not many chances faced. I think Salford will be happy with that point all in all. And especially for us, we've beaten them once this season and we've drawn with them once. This very much felt like 2 points lost for us. I just hope in the next game we do actually get a lot better, because in the next game we play Cheltenham. If we play the way we did this afternoon against Cheltenham, we will get ripped to shreds. Anyway, I'll pass it over to the county fans, see what they have to say, and I'll join you at the end.
Hey everyone, just go through my thoughts on yesterday's game quickly. It was park football on a park pitch. Both teams, I think, turned up and realised that they couldn't play the ball on the floor how they wanted to play, so they had to adapt a hoofball. As we know, it doesn't work and it's not going to win you games, and neither team looked like scoring really. Apart from that, sort of about the pitch, there's not much more to say. Sheehan sending off was blatant. I wouldn't even argue with that. I think the referee was right. He didn't even get the ball from what I've seen. I've watched it a couple of times. He didn't get the ball. But both teams didn't really turn up yesterday, and we were kind of lucky for that because Salford, I don't think they even set up to go out and get a win, and they didn't. The sending off didn't really change anything. The game was pretty, half chances here and there. Maybe you should have brought Abrahams on a bit sooner because Taylor didn't really. He wasn't able to get into the spaces. He didn't get much service, but Abrahams was the same, and he did look a bit more dangerous. But, saying that, we still got a point. We're still second. I can't remember when we've been second or this high up, at this point in the season. And we're off now for, I think we're back at Rodney Parade next Saturday maybe, or maybe the Tuesday after that. I'm not too sure. I know we've got definitely two away games now. And I think we're back home to Carlisle then, which will be massive. But the next two away games, Oldham especially, I think we really need to turn up for that, so we don't get beat again and get some revenge on that one. And if we can get some points from these next couple of games, and the teams around us falter, the teams around us have dipped in form as well. We haven't won in 5, but the teams around us are not doing so great either. But I don't think teams like Forest Green, I don't think their bad form's going to last much longer. So we need to pick up the pace and start, if we can, start pulling away. Carlisle will be huge. I don't think them having all this time off is necessarily going to be a good thing. They might be quite rusty, and we can take advantage of that. And hopefully the pitch is in a bit of a better state then. But yeah, certainly next 2 or 3 games are going to be huge for us, and we can concentrate on that now because we haven't got the cup to worry about. So hopefully get a couple of good results now, and we'll be top come end of the month.
Well, where do I start with that? 0-0 at home against Salford. That was a dreadful game today. Awful performance today by Newport. That was so bad. One of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. That was really bad. I don't know why we look so flat today, so flat, so lethargic, so weak in midfield, nothing going forward. There was just nothing there today. Nothing happened. We've lost probably our most creative player and probably our best all-round player now, because he went and made a stupid challenge, stupid act to go and get himself sent off, make a 2-footed challenge when you know full well that that's a red card offence. And yet and then he tried to plead his innocence like that. Like, it was stupid. Like, why do that? It's not like there's no excuse for it anyway. But when it's 0-0 and you need something to happen, you look at him as our most creative player for something to happen, and he goes and gets himself sent off. I thought Scrimshaw, I thought he was pretty average. I didn't think he did a lot. Same with Ryan Taylor, but at the same time they didn't really have any service. We've also lost Ryan Haynes now to injury. I think it was a head injury. Don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully it's not too long. Kevin Ellison, he came on, but then he went off 10 minutes after, which I don't know what happened, but I'm assuming it's another injury. And which is a shame, because when he came on, he actually looked half decent. He was putting his body on the line. He was taking he was willing to take one in the face, putting in some good blocks. He was tracking back, going forward. He looked pretty good, and then he had to go off straight away. I thought maybe the defence, you could maybe say, was pretty good because they were resistant and they held on. They did well to keep a clean sheet with 10 men. Maybe also Tom King keeping his place because he did really well against Brighton, and that's why I don't get why it was so poor, because against Brighton they looked good, well organised, whereas today we looked so flat. I thought maybe Proctor should have played. I don't know why he wasn't even in the squad. Also, Devitt, like he may even be going now, him and Proctor, so we may even lose more players. I get that we've lost some players already in Brandon Cooper and Scott Twine, but Scott Twine and Brandon Cooper, they were never our players, and we had to prepare ourselves for when they did, or if they did get recalled. Although I don't think we have missed Brandon Cooper as much, because I think David Longking has been pretty good. He done good today. That's the only thing I can say that was good for me. Scott Twine we missed though badly, because he was the sort of player that could make something happen. He could score, he could track back, he could set up someone. He was just that all-round player, and we miss him so badly. That's why we need to replace. Flinney said in the I think yesterday that we've been in a transfer market disaster, so a few deals have fallen through. I do hope he can still make some more, because we need them badly. Because as you can see today, we created nothing whatsoever, and also now we've lost Josh Sheehan for Cheltenham away. 4 games we've gone now without a win, and I don't want to be too harsh, but it's getting worrying now, because we've gone 4 games in a row without a win. We've got 3 points out of the last 4 games. It's really not good enough. And now we've got Cheltenham away from home, which is also going to be a hard game, because Cheltenham are a good team. And then we've got Oldham away. So we've dug ourselves into a real big hole here, and it's going to be hard to get ourselves out of it. And like I said, we may even lose Devitt and Proctor now, so we need to replace badly. We've got to fix that for Tuesday. We need to win. We need to win away at Cheltenham. It's not that far away, so I really hope we can get the win. We need it badly, because we failed to capitalise on Carlisle not playing. We could have regained top spot, but no, we failed to capitalise yet again, and it is getting worrying. And like I said, I've tried to be, I don't want to be too harsh, but I can't be positive right now. And although I'm looking forward to it on Tuesday, because I'm looking forward to every game, but I'm not confident right now. I'm not confident because we've done so poorly the past few games in the league, and today was really bad. So it don't give me much hope. I think we should have won that today at home. We should have capitalised. We should have been rearing. We should have been up for it, resistant, should I say. We should have been just so go up for it, because like seeing that Carlisle are not playing, we can capitalise, go regain top spot, and we just didn't. It was just nothing there. It was really poor. Like I said, the only positive I can say is, for me, is David Longking. He looks pretty good, solid at the back. Other than that, I'm not happy with that today at all. So we move on. We have to try and brush ourselves off from this, and we move on. We try and move on to Tuesday, and we got to win. We need to win, but as always, up the county.
Okay, so a draw at home, 0-0 against Salford, but for me, one of the best teams in the division at the moment. There's a lot of moaning fans again, who just expect us to play this top-class football every single week, considering it's League 2 and our budget is one of the smallest in the league, and people got to understand that. You're not going to have the quality of players to play the football that we want to play week in, week out. Now, the fact that we've been able to play it as often as we have, we should be thankful for it, because not only have we won a lot of games this season, but we're winning them by playing that great football on many of occasions. And when we have been reduced to having a slog at 8, we've come away with some pretty decent results. So some people are saying that obviously we're winless in the last 5 in the league, and we've only got 3 out of 15 points. Now, what do you remember? 2 of those games were Salford home and away, and we got 2 points out of it. So looking at that, that's a bloody good 2 points. Crawley was disappointing, but their home record has been brilliant this season. So for us to get a draw out of that, that's a result you would have taken before the game. Away to Leyton Orient, it was just one of those games where people just tend to lose. I think Morecambe lost there yesterday, and they've been doing well. They've been in good form. So teams do go to Leyton Orient and tend to lose. So I'm not going to get bent out of shape over that loss. And then the other loss was home against Oldham. We got to think 3 of the 5 games were away. Oldham got the best away record in the division. So to me, our league form at the moment, I'm not losing any sleep over, because That's the kind of form that was expected of us from the beginning of the season. So I don't think people would have been moaning too much. People, if we'd have had the season people were expecting from us, I think yesterday would have been a great result for the people who were moaning. And the reason why, for me, it is a good result is because we were down to 10 men. Both teams were poor on the day. If they'd have stepped their game up, I'm sure it would have provoked our players to step theirs up. If both teams are poor, then it's just a drab game of football. To be honest, I was falling asleep in the first half because it was that boring. But, you know, you watch it keenly anyway because you're a County supporter and you never know when the game might change. Now, the red card seemed to galvanise the team, if anything. It was a silly challenge by Josh, but a lot of people are saying, you know, that is a definite red card. For me, I think it's a silly challenge, but is it really a red card? If we stay consistent with this, then it's going to get to the point that you can't make a slide challenge anymore because everyone's going to be, pick the bones out of that. Can we find a way of making that a red card? Let's take that to VAR. Can we get VAR to make that a red card because we want to see him sent off? I mean, it's a dangerous game to go down because, slowly but surely, football is going to be pointless. It's going to be a contactless sport soon enough. And the contact in football is part of what makes it great. So for me, for our own fans to lay themselves down and actually say that was a red card and actually agree completely with the decision, I think is ridiculous. Because if the people like Flinney, for example, who didn't think it was a red card, who've played football, been in the game for a long time, been a manager during recent footballing times, didn't think it was a red card, then why are we jumping all over Sheehan saying stupid challenge, definite red? For me, it wasn't a definite red. Nothing like that's a definite red. And that referee was an absolute fucking lunatic yesterday. I thought he was one of the worst refs we've had this season. So, for me, no. I mean, for us to agree with a referee for making a decision like that, I think it's poor form on our fans' part, and you just got to wonder what side some people are on. You know, a lot of people like to have a moan, and that gives them the ammunition to have a moan. What's the point? But there we go. That's my opinion of it. You know, and I was a bit disappointed to see those comments, but for some reason, it seemed to ignite us a little bit, if anything, and we actually made a couple of subs. I mean, people can moan all they want about Tristan Abrahams. I mean, he hasn't had his solid run of games that he started the season with, and I'm sure he's going through a bit of a lull. He gets a goal, and then he's back. He could get back onto scoring form again then, because everyone was singing his praises at the beginning of the season, and now all of a sudden it's, oh no, he's useless. But the same people were talking about how good he was at the beginning of the season. Well, make your minds up. You either back him or you don't. He's our player. He actually plays for us, so you can either back him or you can, jump on the side of the opposition and actually go against him. It's up to you. But anyway, I'm just happy that we're having such a good season. As I said on County Chat, enjoy the ride while we're riding high at the moment. Just enjoy it and stop picking the bones out of it. Just for, it seems as though people are just picking at things just to have a reason to moan. It wasn't a great game yesterday, but we're in League Two. We're in League Two, we're in the lowest budgets. What are you going to expect from us, especially on that pitch, the way it's gone? There we go. Anyway, on to the next big game on Tuesday. Let's see if we can get the 3 points then, and then go on to a run. Because the one thing we always do is end the season strongly. And whilst we're still in the mix, that's when finishing strongly, if we can do it again, is going to really come in handy. Cheerio for now, everybody up the county.
Evening, boys and girls, how's it going? Final whistle went about 10-15 minutes ago, something like that, so I'll just really quickly throw out a couple of my thoughts. First half, super boring, fucking really boring to watch, not much going on, and unfortunately the state of the pitch has dictated the style of football we need to play, and it's not pretty. It's gone back to the old hoofball. There's quite a lot of that going on, which is never nice, but needs must. We don't own our own pitch. We're League Two, and these are the sorts of problems we need to overcome, and I think we do okay. So 0-0 at half time, nothing particularly exciting to report really. And then the first major talking point is obviously Sheehan gets sent off. I think he got sliced once or twice in the first half, and the ref didn't do anything to the Salford player, so he took matters into his own hands, and it was a fucking stupid tackle, wasn't it, let's be honest. When Michael Flynn doesn't moan, you kind of know that's when it's a fair decision by the ref. So a straight red and off he's gone. I can't remember what the commentator said it was for. I think it was severe violent conduct, something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure whether that's a 1 match ban or a 2 or a 3. I'm not sure. But he'll be missed, no doubt. But hopefully, comes back stronger. And then, yeah, like I said, after that, it could have gone a lot worse. Really, we could have then got humped 3-0, but we didn't. We held on. We fought to the end like we always do, and it was a really, really well fought point against a good Salford team. They are a good team, and you know they often do quite well against us. And even though we only had 10 men for nearly all of the second half, or at least half an hour, 35 minutes, whatever it was, you couldn't really tell, to be honest. I think we played really good football. Well, not good football, but we the possession and the chances were relatively equal, I would imagine. So yeah, you couldn't really tell, and especially the final sort of 15 minutes, it was all us. It was just all Newport, just bombarding. A couple of dives in the box from Podge and Mickey to try and get a late penalty. Why wouldn't you try that? You know, it's not the most admirable thing to do, but if it gets you 3 points, it gets you 3 points. Yeah, so the subs sort of made me scratch my head a little bit. Bringing Tristan Abrams on and Kevin Ellison on before Podge, I think, is fucking backwards. Obviously, Kevin only lasted 11 minutes. Kevin 11, there you go. Only lasted 11 minutes. But that was an injury, so I noticed it when it happened. I know a lot of people on Twitter were kind of questioning a weird decision to take him off. But he was doing some defending in about the 80th minute, I think. And it resulted in a corner. And then I saw him like pull up and hobble a little bit, like he'd pulled a hammy or something like that. And I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to finish this game, and he didn't. But Podge came on, caused a bit of upset in the box, looked probably a bit more dangerous than Tristan did. Tristan was fucking awful tonight. He was really, really bad. I think it's probably time that he gets sent off on loan somewhere, maybe, to build his confidence up a bit, score some goals and play some consistent football. Me personally, I'll be starting Podge now. That new kid, Scrimshaw, he was okay. It looks like he works really hard, but the hoofball sort of thing we're having to play because of the pitch doesn't seem to suit him very well. But I think if he joins at the beginning of the season, he would have done really well, because he would have enjoyed the passing football by the looks of things. And David Long King is looking good still. Hopefully the injury situation doesn't go out of hand now, because obviously we had 3 in that game. Stretcher brought on for Mickey at one point, but obviously he managed to finish the game, which is good. And Ryan Haynes obviously taken off, which is unfortunate because he's a brilliant player, and obviously hopefully he has a speedy recovery. And obviously then you had Big Kev as well, pulling up on his hammy by the looks of things. But hopefully that all sorts itself out and we can just chill out a little bit now, because it's getting really, really tough at the top, really tight at the top of the league. I think we're 1 point off first, but we're equal on games, whereas the guys below us, we've got a point on them, but we've got 2 games in hand on them. So I'm still fairly confident. We just need a good run of games now. A couple of points would be quite nice. A couple of wins would be quite nice, and go from there. But it's looking good, guys. That game could have gone a lot worse after we went down to 10 men. So always think of the positives. Mickey had a great game. David Long King, fantastic. Really pleased that he's back in the team now, and all that sort of stuff. And I personally think Podge needs to starting, and hopefully we can bring a couple more players in before the end of the transfer window. Anyway, my 5 minutes are up, so I'm going to cut away. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to have a cider and chill out and enjoy the rest of my night. Be good. See you later. Stay safe.
Right. Carvel Karaoke King, and I haven't got much to say about that, really. First half, poor. We're playing football that we can't play on our pitch, so we need to change our style. Second half, refs got no protection. We're having little niggles all the time. Sheehan, I can see why he got sent off. It could very easily have been a yellow. Fortunately for us, it's a red. I think we did change the game when we had Abrams and Allen on. And I thought they did really press their back line, which forced back the midfield. So perhaps that's a way of us moving forward, is to make sure whoever's up top runs. And like our two fellows up front today, the new lad from Bournemouth, I can't even have a go at remembering what his name was. Sorry, mate, but impress me next time and I'll remember your name. And who else was up top for us? Taylor. Didn't do much, mate, so it's all about work rate. I'd rather see Proctor in there. Proctor showed me a bit more insight of what he can do against Brighton than Taylor's done. So get the strikers going, press them up higher, which means that they have to sit back, better chance of scoring. We looked like we were going to score when we had players pressing on their back four, but that's all from me. Let's go again next week.
Well then, quite different games. I think it was the first league game we haven't scored. Yeah, definitely different in 0-0 for this season. Sheeran red card, I think it was a 50-50 personally. First time I looked at it, I thought, yeah, definite penalty. But after looking at the highlights and Flynn's press conference, part of me doesn't think. Penalty, I thought it was a definite penalty right at the end. And again, Flynn said in this press conference he'll be receiving another apology. But at the end of the day, apology is not 3 points. Do you know what I mean? It's twice. So if they give another apology, that could have been 4 points for us, including the Leighton Orient game. Disappointed, I think, is the word that springs to mind. Annoyed, angry, quite frustrated as well because they didn't have one shot on target. I know they were a bit of a... I don't think either team was a goal threat. I know we went down to 10 men, but it's no excuses for not making that many chances. Nice to see a few different players starting. Jake Grimshaw on his... I think it's Grimshaw on his debut. Nice to see Ryan Taylor back. I don't think he did too much, but again, it was a hard, as Flynn said, and I quote, a hard day for defenders. Still second. Obviously, Carlisle's game was postponed, so we're in the same amount of games and unders them, which was a confidence boost, but we are drawing top, and we're only 2 goals off goal difference, so hope for the better on Tuesday. I don't think it's a must-win game, but we can see we are dropping down there, because obviously we're drawing with quite a few people, so on points, so I think it could be a game that we need to win. I don't think it's a must-win game, though. I don't think that much depends on it. Stay safe, up the county, to our exiles.
So guys, that's it for this episode of Amber Talk. As always, massive thank you to everyone who has submitted clips in. Our next game now is on Tuesday night. We're away to Cheltenham. It's a 7 PM kickoff. Could be a good game. I don't know, they've just drawn with Bolton, so we might have a chance, but they currently sit in 6th. In terms of table, us and Carlisle are joint top on 39 points after 21 games. Then Cambridge are in 3rd on 38 after 23 games. So both us and Carlisle could have a bit of a gap over Cambridge there. Forest Green have played 22 games and picked up 38 points. And then Salford have played 23 games and picked up 37 points. The way COVID is going, lots of games are being called off. Carlisle have had both today's game and their next 2 games called off because of COVID outbreaks. We've got 2 games in hand because of bad weather conditions and whatnot. So it's all a bit very touch and go with the table. But the positive is we are joint top. We are second. We've played 2 more games than Cambridge, 1 more game than Forest Green. So we have the opportunity to get a bit of clearance. So there, that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy, go down, drop a like, leave a comment. What did you think about today's performance? What would you change going into the game against Cheltenham? And was it the most boring game of football you have watched? If not, what has been the most boring game of football for you? And there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting out a few videos over the coming weeks, and I'm certain you will not want to miss them. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and be able to catch them. As always though, I've been Ollie, up the county.
Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again, make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.